Good morning. So I'm in front of you with a new class. Today we are going to start a new chapter. Do you know what's the name of the chapter? Yes, I know that most of you would have already read the chapter, isn't it? Very good. So we are going to start the chapter, An Outlaw's Report. Now, before going into the chapter, let me tell you that 35 students have completed their work and submitted it to me. But what about the rest? Some of you still haven't, but I hope that you will do that in the next class. So anyways, before entering into our chapter, we have to do a small background study about the chapter. Shall we do that? So this story is set up in a time after World War II. That is post World War II. Post means after. So during that time, what happened? A lot of people lost their jobs. Not only people lost their jobs, but also they had difficulty in maintaining their health. So at that time, a person named William Beveridge submitted a report to the government. And what was the report? The report stated that the conditions of the people had to be improved. So what conditions had to be improved? First, their financial condition, and the next, their health conditions had to be improved. So he submitted a report called the Beveridge Report. Now this chapter that we are going to do is a lesson that is based around this Beveridge Report. So this report was passed in the year 1942, and when this report was passed, people started having hope that now their conditions will improve after the war. So they felt that their wages will be increased, their health will increase, and obviously the living conditions will start getting a little better. So what happens at your home when some topic is being spoken about and you hear it continuously? Don't you also tend to discuss it with your cousins or with your friends? Isn't it? Suppose in this present time we are talking about corona and we hear so much about coronavirus from so many people. What do we do? In the age group that we are in, we also tend to discuss about these things, isn't it? So the same thing happened with 4 children whom we are going to study about in this chapter. They also heard about this Beveridge Report, and just like the adults or grown-ups, these small children also started discussing about this Beveridge Report. So there are 4 characters in this lesson, 4 small children. And what are the names of these characters? Henry, William, Douglas, and Ginger. Okay, can you repeat it with me once again? What are the 4 names? Henry, William, Douglas, and Ginger. So these are the 4 characters, and these are small children. So these are 4 friends, and together they have a name for these 4 friends. I'm sure most of you also have these names for your groups, isn't it? So just like y'all, these 4 children have named themselves the Outlaws. What is the name? Outlaws. But do you know what is the meaning of outlaw? Outlaw means a criminal who is hiding to escape punishment. Okay, but these 4 children, they are not criminals. They have just named their group the Outlaws. So I hope that you will remember these points. So which are the important points? At what time is this incident taking place? This incident that we are going to study is taking place after the World War II. And what important document are we talking about in this chapter? We are talking about the Beveridge Report. Why was the Beveridge Report passed? It was passed so that the financial and the health conditions of the people would improve. And who are the main 4 characters that we are talking about? William, Henry, Douglas, and Ginger. Okay, so remember these important points. As small children, we always think that we have so many enemies around us, isn't it? Do you think that you have enemies? Yes, of course you think. Who are the enemies? Can you name them? I can name them for you. Your parents, your teachers, elders, or any adults around you are considered as enemies to you, isn't it? Why do you consider them as enemies? Because they ask you to study, they ask you to study always. You have no freedom around them. So you think that why these adults only have to say everything? They tell us so many things. They tell us not to go here, not to do this, not to do that. Why always the adults are going on telling, and why we have no freedom? Isn't it? Are these thoughts that come in your mind also? So our 4 children that we are going to learn about, they also have these thoughts in their mind. Okay, that adults are always scolding them, adults are always asking them to study, and they have no kind of freedom. Okay, so that is why they come up with this report in which they want equal rights as adults. So let us begin the chapter. So let us know about the author, Richmal Crompton. She was born in the year 1890 and died in 1969. She was an English writer popular for her delightful books about the troublemaker William and his band of mischievous friends. Crompton began her career as a school teacher and then later became a full-time writer. Crompton understood children very well, and her William stories are about how children see the world around them. So let us start reading. William was frowning as he walked slowly along the road. He was thinking of conversations he had overheard at the houses he had just visited. They had nearly all been on the same topic: better conditions, shorter hours, higher wages, freedom from want and fear, the Beveridge Report. When we read about Richmal Crompton, you would have understood that she writes about a character named William. And as we start reading the lesson also, we read about William. So among these 4 friends, William is one such character whom Richmal Crompton writes again and again in her writings. So what do we read? That William is frowning and he is walking out of somewhere. Why is he frowning? Frowning means what? Frowning means he is very angry. And what is he angry about? He is angry about the conversations that he has just heard. What do you mean by conversations? People talking to each other. And I told you that people were talking about something in that particular time. What were they talking about? They were talking about the Beveridge Report. And in the Beveridge Report, there were mentions that people's conditions would improve, okay, or their salary will be increased. Such conditions will improve. So the people also were talking about it. And when William overheard these conversations, he became very angry. Why do you think he became angry? Let us read and see. Okay. He reached the barn where he was meeting the other outlaws, Ginger, Douglas, and Henry. Look here, he said. Everyone's talking about better conditions and things for the grown-ups. They are going to have a jolly good time. But what about us, kids? No one's thinking about us. What about shorter hours and more money for us? How do grown-ups get it? Asked Douglas. They've got a thing called a Beveridge Report. We've got to do something for ourselves if we want anything done at all, explained William bitterly. How about we come up with our own report? So William understands that the people of England are now going to live their life without fear, and he goes and meets his friends. So who are the friends, or what is the name of their group together? They are the outlaws. So he goes and meets them in a barn. Barn is a place where animal food is stored. Okay, so they go and meet each other there, and he happens to tell them about this Beveridge Report. And what does he tell? That our adults or the elder people are going to get their salary properly, they are going to get more money, and they also have to work less. But they have a doubt amongst this. What about us? Adults are going, their life is going to be very happy. But what about us? What about shorter working hours for us and more money? Now, what does he mean by shorter working hours for children? What are the working hours for children? You will be able to tell this very well. Yes, studying and doing homework. And what about more money? More money? How do you get money? Do you get salary for something? No. Then what is it? Yes, pocket money. Okay, now we see Douglas is asking the question. He's asking, how are these grown-ups getting all this? So William, he has heard conversations here and there, and he tells, This is all because of a beverage report. Okay, so now they decide something very interesting. What do they decide? Do you know? They decide that okay, let us make a report of our own. Let us prepare a report together. So these are small children. They don't know about how a government runs or what is the procedure of giving a report to the government. So they just think that they will make a document, they will submit it, and their demands will be fulfilled. They are thinking like that. Okay, so this is what they do. They decide to prepare a report on their own. So let us read after that. The others loved the idea. They sat down on the floor to compose the outlaw's report. Well, first of all, grown-ups are going to have shorter working hours, said William. So we'll have them too. Longer holidays, suggested Ginger. More holidays than school term. We'd better not ask for too much, said William. We'll ask for as many holidays as term. That's only fair, when we've worn out our brains in school for 3 months. We ought to have 3 months for our brains to grow back to their right size again. We see that the outlaws sit down together and they decide to write the report. And what do they write? First point is suggested by William. He says that adults are going to have lesser working time, so we also want lesser working time. And Ginger suggests we can ask for more and longer holidays. He says we can demand for longer holidays than the term. And so for example, if you are studying for 3 months, Ginger is demanding for holidays more than 6 months. Okay, but William thinks that that's not a good idea. He says no, that's not a good idea. I think our demand should be good. It should be in such a way that a person can agree to our demands. So it should not be too high. So William says that okay, we can do this. If we are learning for 3 months, we can demand for 3 months holidays. Why? How does he justify this? What reason does he give to justify? He says we are using our brain for 3 months. So we want that same amount of time to allow the brain to develop again. So he says 3 months of study and 3 months of holiday in a term. The outlaws were very impressed. They nodded their agreement. Then there's higher wages. We should put that in, said William and wrote. 6 pence a week pocket money and not to be took off for anything. What other better conditions do we want? So all the outlaws decided the first point and they were so happy about it that they nodded their agreement and they decided to put that point. Now it was time for the second point. And what was the second point? The second point William said was that these elder people are going to get more salary or they are going to make more money. So we also can put that point. And what was the point? They want 6 pence a week. Okay, and now what is this pence when you convert into Indian rupee? That you have to find out and tell me. Okay, so anyways they demanded 6 pence a week. And very cleverly they added one more point in that. What was that point, do you know? Now suppose sometimes your parents also they promise you something. They say that if you get good marks you will get this, otherwise you will not. So very cleverly, you know what point they added? They added a point that on basis of anything, this money will not be cancelled. Whether they get good marks or not, whether they do their homework or not, they have to be given this money. Okay, so this was the second point that they wrote. Now 2 points were done. So what are the 2 points? The first one was lesser working hours. And what was the second point? Second point was about their pocket money. So now these 2 points were put. Now they started thinking about the next point. What other better conditions of living do we want? They started thinking. So let us see what is that point. No Latin, said Ginger. No French, said Douglas. No arithmetic, said Henry. No, none of them, agreed William firmly, adding these fresh demands to the list. Well, they also go on and on about freedom from want and fear, said William, which means no punishments. Grown-ups can break things and forget things and answer each other back, and nothing ever happens to them. It's about time we had a bit of this equality that people are always talking about. And what about food? Said Douglas. I wouldn't feel free from want without 6 ice creams a day. I'm sure that you found the next portion very interesting and silently you are smiling. Am I right? Yes. Why? Because these are some of the wants that even you have. I know that very well. So what are their demands? Their demands are that they don't want to study Latin, they don't want to study French, and they don't want to study arithmetic. So what is Latin and French? Latin and French is a language, and what is arithmetic? Arithmetic is mathematics. So they don't want to study any of these subjects, and when they hear this, William says, yes, we don't want to study all these subjects. Definitely we don't want to study. And then William says 2 more points which are very important. What are that 2 points? He says that in the Beveridge report it is said that people will not be afraid of anything. So he says that even we want that. How do we want that? We will say that we don't want any punishments. So if there are no punishments, there will be no fear. So he says, yes, we have to add that point also, that there should be no punishments. And we want equal rights like the adults. So if they are not getting punished, we also should not be punished. Then finally Douglas adds one more point. He says that in the Beveridge report you said that people will have no wants. Now for example, your parents are buying everything and giving for you. They are buying all the toys that you like, they are buying all the clothes that you like, they come and give you all the kind of food without asking, without you demanding anything. They are giving you everything. So what will happen? Will you have any wants, or will you think I want this or want that, because you are getting everything before asking itself, isn't it? So you will have no wants. So in the Beveridge report it was said that people will have no fear and they will have no want, because they will be getting everything. So he says that if wants are going to be fulfilled, then I have a want. What is his want? He wants 6 ice creams per day. Okay, so this is his want. The outlaws daydreamed about this blissful possibility for some moments. Then William got back down to business. All right, they are going to make this Beveridge report thing into an act of parliament. So we should get ours made into a law as well. We've got to find someone high up who's going to London to see the government and will take it for us. You must see here that how seriously these children are talking to each other about creating a law, and they are really hoping that these silly demands of these children are going to be fulfilled by the government. So they, for a second, they just forget everything and they think about how nicely their life is going to change after these laws are passed. But suddenly a reality strikes them and they think, who is going to take this report to the government so that it becomes a law? Okay, so they start thinking about that, who is going to take it to London for us, and they finally understand that they need someone in higher authority so that they can give that paper to them and that person can take it to the government and make it a law. So that's all we'll be doing for today's class. Read the lesson well and try to understand the lesson and how these small children are so innocent and they try to form a law which will help them to lead a very good life. We must also understand how actually the life of children is impacted or affected by the things that are happening around us. So read the lesson well, underline the difficult words and do the activities and send it to me on time.